It's June of 2022, and the winds of change are absolutely here. We're seeing a shift in the housing market, and the question is, do you pull back and get fearful, or do you dive in and find opportunity? Let me tell you, now is a perfect time for opportunity. If you've been thinking about buying a home and you've struggled, especially struggling with the last 2 years of not being able to pick a home, let's be honest. You never had time over the last 2 years to actually look at the home and think about, is this the right home for me? You weren't even given the opportunity to do inspections, or your offer was not considered. And you're also in a position where now you get to actually plan for, hey, how much money do I have for down payment? And should I have the seller help me pay for some closing costs? There might actually be some negotiation opportunity today that didn't exist over the last 2 years. So if you've been sitting on the sideline thinking about buying a home, now is your opportunity to sit down with me and talk about how we can make this opportunity work for you in this shifting market. We've got a lot of homes that are staying on the market longer, sellers that are thinking about lowering their price, and you can come in and you can negotiate. You can find terms that work for you. The question is, what terms matter to you? That's what you need to sit down with a professional like me to talk about. Is it about finding a home that the seller's going to do some repairs for you? Is it about getting credits towards closing costs for you? There's lots of different things that we can look at that we can help you craft an offer to find the right home for you now. And for those of you who are worried about the market crashing, I've got a video, I'll link it right here. I'll link it down below in comments as well, where I talked about household formations. And the fact is, we have at least through 2025 to 2026, a shortage of homes compared to the number of households that are being formed. A household is formed when somebody grows up, moves out of mom and dad's house, and either becomes a renter or becomes a homeowner. And even if they become a renter, they're still filling a rental unit that has more demand than there is supply of rental units. And guess what? Builders are starting to slow down a little bit right now. The frenzy is starting to come off of builders. And so we're going to see fewer new homes being started across the United States, which is going to put even more pressure on the lack of houses that are out there. So do I see housing prices continue skyrocketing over the next 2 years? No, I honestly don't. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is I don't see housing crashing. People are worried about 2007 and 2008 happening again, but that happened because of bad mortgages. It happened because people couldn't afford to keep their home because they had an adjustable rate mortgage. And when the rate adjusted to a higher payment, they couldn't refinance. People today don't have adjustable rate mortgages. They have fixed rate mortgages, and people have a significant amount of equity in their home. So we're not going to see homeowners be foreclosed upon en masse. We're not going to see a large correction or a large crash, but we might see a little bit of a dip. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but what I'll tell you is there's no 10-year period in history where housing prices have fallen between one point and another point 10 years later. So if you have a long-term horizon of homeownership, do you really want to be a renter paying somebody else's mortgage, or do you want to be a homeowner paying your own mortgage?